What is goody, everybody? Finally, finally, the Clippers played on a Friday night, and it was a really exciting, fun game to just simply see. Like, throughout the whole entire game, the Clippers was just pretty much killing it, and everybody essentially, like, they really did their own thing, and the team was just looking really good in general. Like, so we played an Israeli team, so like of course, like sure there'll be some people who say let's not get too excited, blah 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 blah. But if you actually watch the game, like you can tell a lot of these players they definitely put into work in. Like they definitely improved by a significant amount of measure, and it's really beautiful to see. Really beautiful to see. Like I said, like like we played a non-NBA team, but all these guys, they definitely got better. So now let's just break down player by player for the Clippers since it's the first game preseason and we played an international team, so it's hard for me to break down their players. Like obviously, like lot they did not really do the best. I mean, it's expected because they're playing against the Clippers, the best team in the NBA. So I mean, we played against them. There's Stormwell, Norris Cole, and I think Terrence Jones. And they didn't really do much against the Clippers because we're the Clippers. We're tough. So, anyways, time to break down the players by players. So, pretty much, the best offensive player tonight, like in terms of shooting and scoring, Canard. 4 for 5 from three. He was just pure butter. He was looking like a mix of Kyle Korver and a better version of JJ Redick. Like, Luke Kennard, he's definitely one of the best shooters in teams. And like in the NBA and a lot of teams, they would definitely love a guy like Luke Kennard. And, Luke Kennard. Seems like I've been seeing some of his interviews. He seems to be a really great team player. He gives off that really good vibe. And, like every time we would definitely need a three, Luke Kennard, he would always just swish it. And let's just say the Clippers want to upgrade. A lot of teams would kill to get Luke Kennard. So who knows? A lot of teams could just definitely freaking just freaking over trade the heck for Luke Kennard. If we would really just want to fully maximize our team, or we could just keep him and Luke Kennard would just simply be our assassin from shooting, which is, pretty beautiful to see from the man Nuke Canard. He was just butter, like straight up butter. Next player, Marcus Morris. Like the man who gets slandered a lot and who just wants to put him in trade talks for bags of chips. Marcus Morris, he also showed out tonight as well too. Like he was sure he may have been 2 for 5 from three, which is not it was not the worst. Um, his defense and his quickness got better, in my personal opinion. Like last year, he was he was definitely fairly slow. He would definitely get targeted by quicker guards, but at least in this game, he definitely seemed quicker. He definitely trimmed some weights. Um, his defense actually looks respectable. Like he definitely played like the Boston Celtics Marcus Morris back when he was just a he was if you want a corner shot, you could swing it to Morris. If you want a solid defender, you could rely on Morris. He is looking like the Celtics Marcus Morris. And if Marcus Morris plays like that, like the Celtics version Marcus Morris, or Marcus Morris just simply hits his shots. good luck trying to stop us. Like, my bad, my throat's a little dry right now, so just excuse me and sorry about that. But anyways, going back to Marcus Morris, like either way, the Clippers are pretty difficult to beat in general. But man, Marcus Morris, he's that extra weapon. He's the extra weapon, and we have so much depth, so we could like eventually just consolidate for whether if it's to play chess for like to get a draft pick in a really stacked draft class or just find ways to upgrade our team in general. Honestly, we're just good all around. Even our center position, which I'll definitely get into real soon. Now, let's talk about Jason Preston. Jason Preston, like obviously, you could definitely tell he's definitely not nowhere near the scorer type, but he gets the team involved. He gets 10 assists, which is pretty gorgeous to see. Like he would feed Brown, he would feed, let's just say Luke Canard. He would definitely make our shooters like better, and he would definitely be solid at feeding the bigs. He got a whopping 10 assists. His defense is pretty good, so like he would give off the Ray John Rondo, Ricky Rubio type. Like definitely not the type you would rely to just be the scorer, but he's a type you could definitely use on defense and playmaking. Like basically which is that's a pretty that's a pretty solid, promising, point guard. Like whether if he's gonna be the future of he's gonna be our future franchise point guard, or he's probably gonna maybe bounce around to a different team. Who knows? But one thing I would definitely critique about Preston that I believe he definitely could definitely improve on is, I would say like it would be better if he like develop more sauce, like in terms of his handles. Like basically, Preston handles is good enough that he does not get stripped easily, but it definitely could be a lot better that he could develop like some type of crossover or like just like some saucy move, kind of like how like Reggie Jackson would have. Like he would definitely have a crossover, while Preston, like his handles is good enough that it won't get stripped, like I said. But it's not like Trey Powell, boom, not like that. He's just like dribble, throw off a dime or just drive in and get a floater. Like he's definitely not really the type who would definitely like break your ankle, but nevertheless, he's a pretty solid point guard that that you could kind of like rely on. Like if you like want a point guard that is just like good enough. Like he's definitely the true point guard mold. And Terrence Mann, you know, Terrence Mann, he seemed like a little quiet on in terms of the scoring, but it's preseason, so sometimes players are not trying to go too hard. Like he hit some threes, um, got some layups. His defense, definitely is always a plus. His rebounding is pretty good for his size, and Terrence Mann is one of the guys that I would definitely refrain from trading because, like, a lot of guys, like, a lot of teams could definitely use a guy like Terrence Mann, and, Clippers are pretty lucky to have a guy like Terrence Mann, as opposed to Luke Canard. Like, Luke Canard, like, again, he's also, like, a rare type of breed. He's one of the, definitely, like, the top tier shooters. He's, like, the best three-point shooter in terms of percentage, but, however, like, we do have a lot of offense of our team, so he's one more of the guys that I would be like less mad if we just put him in a trade talks that would significantly like dramatically upgrade our future. But of course, obviously, like you don't want to just there's no players at the moment that I just simply just want to just simply just trade just because you just want to trade them. Like I would definitely would want to trade some players who just you know, maximize our team like potential to is eventually just form our team to a dynasty, a dynasty. Um, but now, now, let's talk about our center. Now, I've been hearing so many rambling about how the Clippers should, like, how the Clippers, like, don't have a center or how we should just, like, go all in to get a legit big man. Like, I'd be hearing one dude say, let's trade Luke Canard for Nikola Vucevic. I'm like, what? Like, nah, I would definitely not do a trade like that because Vucevic, he's like 32 years old. Um, you only have like 3 years left in him, so like, it's a very short-sighted move. And Luke Kennard, he's one of those players that I would mind less if we managed to package him in a trade talk, but only for like a really, really good player that would make our future like really, really deadly to deal with for other teams. But for Vucevic, it's just like a temporary move. Like the most popular one is Miles Turner. I used to be a huge Turner guy. If you just asked me last year, I would have been all in. But this year, like I've been doing some digging with Miles Turner. Turner's just injury prone. His shooting is just it's it's okay. Like, but his field goal percentage is just like not really it for a big man. And he has way more touches, but you know he scores the same amount of points as our centers like Zubac. So I would not really like go too crazy, but the point is, a lot of people are sleeping on this particular player. My man, Moses Brown. I be telling people in the comments and in my past videos too. Moses Brown, like he may not be no Joel Embiid, he may not be no Nikola Jokic, um, he may not be he definitely does not have a shot, but he is no bum. He is definitely a solid, reliable player that definitely will help the Clippers like down the line, in my opinion. And I believe we should definitely pick up Moses Brown. Like just because the player is not like an NBA veteran doesn't mean that he cannot help the Clippers. Like you know, people be talking about how Moses Brown he was always like a negative when he played, but you got to consider the fact that he played with the OKC Thunders, which is like literally like one of the worst teams in the NBA at the moment, which is you're bound to be a net negative, whether even if you're a star or not. And he played with the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a team loaded with big men. So, obviously his sample size might look pretty botched, but even like his sample size is maybe small, but I was impressed with his rebounding ability and interior defense. And this game, he proved my point. Like, sure, it's an Israeli team, but one thing that I definitely vouch about Moses Brown is his rebounding, and his rebounding is just amazing. It was just amazing. Like that dude, he would always fight for our possession, something that we struggled in the past. Like we couldn't get a board, and Moses Brown, he just made it simple for us. I was like, yeah, that man, bring him on the team. Just bring him on the team. Like one thing I don't understand about some of these people is like they're the same people who don't like Moses Brown, but they want to like trade essentially a huge chunk of our players, especially our young players, for freaking Rudy Gobert, who's honestly the same type of player as Moses Brown, except he's way more experienced and obviously way better. Or they want to get Hassan Whiteside, who's literally the exact same type of player except he's probably a worse rebounder. He might be a little quicker, but he's definitely a worse rebounder. So, and like I said, 13 boards. Like, one thing that I understand why some people may be skeptical about Moses Brown is he doesn't really have like a legit shot creation. Like, he's more of like the janitor type center. Like, he's definitely the type of guy, like, if you miss a shot, he would just like grab the board and he would definitely put it back up. He's not the type who would just, like, like if you feed him, he would just do like a jump hook shot. Like, nah, he's not that type. Um, but he's definitely serviceable for the Clippers solely because he's like the janitor type player. Like, the Clippers definitely needed a janitor type player for like, the past 2-3 years. Like, we struggled to like just buy a rebound. Like, we would get our rebounded a lot of times, and Moses, he definitely could help with a lot of that. He could help with a lot of that, but he definitely is very raw. It definitely needs to work on a lot of things. Obviously his free throw, and he definitely could also work on his defense too. Like, I thought that he was like his mobility is like like pretty like slow in my opinion, which is I expected it, but like like it's a modern NBA, and you definitely kind of just have to try to get quicker. But his interior defense is okay, but his rebounding is great. His rebounding is just great. Shout out to Moses Brown. All I gotta say. Now, next player, Musa Diabate. Moose, I mess with him big time. A lot of people on Twitter, they were not big on Musa Diabate, but people on YouTube, they were more on the supportive side of Musa Diabate. I was more welcoming of Musa Diabate as well too, despite him being taken over some other prospects. But Moose, I just gotta love his switchability. Like, he shows that he is the type of guy that definitely could guard 1 to 5. He could just literally be guarding your typical power forward, your typical center. Then the next thing he could be guarding point guards. Like, I've seen like in this game, like when the point guard would be dribbling the ball, like a really quick point guard, Musa Diabate would literally stay in front of him. He would just stay in front of him. Like, Musa Diabate, he's definitely gonna be a future multiple like defensive player of the year. Like, he's a very, very great switchable defender. Um, he's an interior and exterior defender, rebounding pretty solid. Um, inside the paint, like, he's better than Moses Brown in terms of offense. Like, he has some legit shot creation. Like, he has some hooks. He's like, he's also the gender type of guy too, which is, you know, we likes those type of players. His range is pretty promising, which is that's one thing that he does better than Brown. He has a mid range, which is, you know, pretty good, and his free throw shooting, it's it definitely got better than the summer league, but it definitely could be worked on as well too. But like, if I'm being honest, I think I'm putting Musa Diabate as my untouchables in trade talks, or at least like I wouldn't trade him unless if it's for like a guy like, I don't know, like Giannis or Joel Embiid. But I would definitely not put Diabate for like a guy like for like a really like a past 32 years old star, because Musa Diabate, like, he like if he just developed like a legit 3-point shot, I think he could definitely be at least like a multiple time All Star. Like, I'm gonna just throw out this comparison, and I did it before, but I'll just do it again. Like his ceiling, like his his like his ceiling, I would say is like a Pascal Siakam, and the worst case scenario of Musa Diabate is like a Bobby Portis. He's like the energy plug, good rebounder, and a pretty good defender, kind of like how Portis is for the Milwaukee Bucks. But anyways, some more players that I'm gonna be talking about. Amir Coffey. Shout out to Amir Coffey. That dude definitely was in a lab. He definitely packed up on a good amount of muscles. He definitely got quicker as well too. His handles are even like more nimble. Like his handles just definitely got quicker. His playmaking is actually pretty good as well too. Like he's improving from his like in his all around game. Like he's no longer just um, the armpit of the team. Like I used to like question on why would he get minutes because I wanted other guys like Boston Jr. and Scrub to get minutes, but you know, turns out that Amir Coffey is actually a pretty darn good, solid player for us. And he shows a lot of versatility, and we gotta love that. We gotta love it. Robert Covington, he's just typical Rocco. He can shoot, play defense, just do it all. Really good 3-and-D player. Um, Other players, Xavier Moon, he was solid, nothing too special. Now, Brandon Boston Jr., the player that me and my homie Clip Gang don't bang, that we really vouch for. Brandon Boston Jr., we love Brandon Boston Jr. big time. He's definitely our special gem. He's our insurance. But tonight, it was his off night, but it happens. We're not going to just, like, get all pissy because one man has a bad game. Like, we were just smacking the living heck out of the, I forgot the team name, but we were smacking our opposing team anyways. So, we're not going to really worry too much about that. But he was 1 for 9, which is, he definitely, like, could definitely play better. We all know he does play better. Like, it's just one of his, like, off night, but it's all good. It happens to everybody. Um, he did got a really beautiful dunk. He definitely got swole. But yeah, that one dunk was just pretty tough, and he almost posterized someone too, but fortunately, that did not go through. But nevertheless, this was a beautiful Clippers game in general, and a lot of players. Let's just say they improved. They improved a lot. Like, just let me know what you think about what you think about the game in general, or what you think about the specific players in general. Just feel free to leave a comment and be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll definitely get with y'all in the comment section. And as y'all know, have a great Friday night.